Top doctors decide, is coffee good or bad for diabetes and heart disease? Imagine this. There exists a type of coffee so exclusive that it's collected from the wild, where animals themselves choose only the most potent beans. This coffee, known as Kopi Luwak or civet coffee, is made from beans that have been carefully selected and eaten by a small animal called the civet, which has a knack for choosing beans with the highest caffeine content. After the beans pass through the animal's digestive system, they're gathered, refined, and brewed into one of the world's rarest and most expensive coffees. But what is it about coffee that intrigues us so deeply? Why do we have this ongoing debate about whether coffee is beneficial or harmful to our health, especially when it comes to conditions like diabetes and heart disease? Today, we're diving into some fascinating recent research on coffee's true impact. By the end, you'll see what top doctors have discovered about this cherished drink and whether you might reconsider or reinforce your morning coffee habit. Coffee, a drink. Surrounded by debate for decades, coffee has sparked heated discussions. Some swear by its health benefits, while others warn about potential risks. So, what's the real story? Does drinking coffee over many years lead to type 2 diabetes or heart disease? Is it something to keep enjoying or reconsider? Recently, a massive scientific study was conducted involving hundreds of thousands of people over many years, revealing some fascinating findings about coffee's impact on diabetes and heart health. Today, let's dive into this research to understand what's really at play and help you decide whether to continue that daily cup or maybe cut back. Hi there. Today, we're breaking down a significant study that might just change how you see coffee. By the end of this video, you'll have the insights you need to make a fully informed decision about coffee. And you'll learn whether that daily ritual could be boosting your health or holding it back. Now, what's this big study all about? Here's the title for reference: Habitual Consumption of Coffee, Tea, and Caffeine, and the Risk of Developing Multiple Heart and Metabolic Diseases. Let's go through this together, step by step. Scope and scale of the study. Let's start with the scope. This isn't your typical small-scale study. We're talking about 182,000 people, ages 37 to 73, tracked over 12 years. That's right, 12 years of coffee and tea habits observed in detail. Now, why such a large number and extended period? Simple. The researchers wanted solid evidence, not just momentary findings, to see how sustained, everyday consumption of coffee or tea affects long-term health. They studied 3 primary outcomes: type 2 diabetes, heart disease, and stroke. Additionally, the study focused on cardiometabolic multimorbidity, CM. Now, CM is just a technical term, but it's important here. It means developing 2 or more health conditions simultaneously, such as having diabetes and heart disease together. And why is this a big deal? Having 2 of these conditions more than triples the health risks and raises the likelihood of serious complications, including a 7-fold increase in the risk of death. Now, imagine that impact. It's huge, especially as we age. The participants were sorted based on their caffeine intake from coffee, tea, and even other sources like soda. The goal? To see if those who consumed higher levels of coffee or caffeine were at greater risk for these health conditions over the years. Findings: caffeine, coffee, and diabetes. The research reveals intriguing insights about caffeine intake and its impact on reducing the risk of type 2 diabetes. Participants who drank 3 cups of coffee per day experienced a 36% lower risk of developing diabetes. However, this benefit did not increase with higher consumption. In fact, drinking more than 3 cups may even diminish the protective effect, highlighting that moderation is key. For tea enthusiasts, consuming 5 cups of tea daily showed a similar 37% reduction in diabetes risk, indicating that both coffee and tea offer protective effects, albeit in different quantities. But what about other sources of caffeine, such as soda or energy drinks? The study found that consuming 200 to 300 milligrams of caffeine per day, equivalent to 2 to 3 cups of coffee, was associated with a 25% lower risk of diabetes. However, exceeding this amount did not provide additional benefits, reinforcing the idea that moderate caffeine intake is beneficial, but too much may counteract its effects. Findings: coffee, heart disease, and stroke. Now let's talk heart health. For people drinking 3 cups of coffee daily, the study observed a 12% reduction in heart disease risk. Tea drinkers who enjoyed 5 cups a day saw an 8% reduction. Although coffee had a slightly higher protective effect than tea, both drinks showed benefits for heart health. When it came to caffeine in general, participants consuming 200 to 300 milligrams per day had around an 11% lower risk of heart disease. So, if you enjoy a couple of cups of coffee or tea daily, you're likely doing something positive for your heart. The study also looked at stroke risk, and the results followed a similar pattern. Moderate coffee and caffeine intake reduced the risk of stroke as well, giving us more reason to think that coffee and tea have protective cardiovascular effects when consumed in reasonable amounts. Cardiometabolic multimorbidity, CM, and coffee. Here's where things get even more interesting. The researchers examined whether coffee could help prevent the combination of 2 conditions together, like diabetes and heart disease, CM. And guess what? The results were promising. Those drinking 3 cups of coffee per day showed a 49% lower risk of developing both diabetes and heart disease together. This means coffee could offer a double shield effect, potentially lowering the risk of 2 severe conditions at the same time. Again, though, more than 3 cups didn't increase this protection, and in fact, extra cups could actually lessen the benefit. Think of 3 cups as a magic number when it comes to coffee's health benefits, providing a solid defense against some of the biggest health threats we face as we age. How does coffee do this? The mechanism. Now you might be wondering, why does coffee have this effect? The study investigated this by analyzing nearly 80 different blood markers to understand how coffee affects our bodies. Here's what they found. Coffee can improve insulin sensitivity, meaning it helps your body manage blood sugar more effectively, which is crucial in diabetes prevention. It also reduces inflammation levels and boosts antioxidant levels, both of which are critical for protecting against heart disease and other age-related conditions. In simple terms, coffee doesn't just stimulate, it also works at a cellular level, improving blood sugar regulation, lowering harmful inflammation, and increasing the body's defense against oxidative stress. This combination of benefits can contribute to overall wellness, especially in individuals over 50. Practical tips for coffee lovers. Now that we know how coffee can be beneficial, let's look at some practical ways to incorporate it responsibly. Here are a few tips to make the most out of your daily coffee routine. Stick to 3 cups a day. Research suggests that 3 cups is the magic number for gaining health benefits without going overboard. More than 3 cups might reduce these benefits, so enjoy your coffee in moderation. Mind your timing. Avoid drinking coffee too late in the day as it can disrupt sleep. Aim to have your last cup by early afternoon to ensure a restful night. Experiment with brewing methods. Different brewing methods can alter the flavor and strength of coffee. If you're used to a certain method, consider trying a new one like a French press or cold brew to enjoy a varied taste profile. Balance caffeine sources. If you're drinking coffee alongside other caffeinated beverages, keep an eye on your overall caffeine intake. It's easy to go overboard when combining sources. Watch for health signals. Pay attention to how coffee affects your body. Some people feel great with a few cups, while others may experience digestive discomfort or jitteriness. Adjust your intake based on how you feel. There are moments, my friend, when coffee might not be the best choice for everyone. For instance, if you have high blood pressure, you might want to go easy on it, as caffeine can temporarily raise blood pressure levels. For those with sensitive stomachs, coffee's acidity can sometimes irritate the digestive tract, especially if you're prone to acid reflux or ulcers. Switching to a lower acid coffee could help. Another time to be cautious is before bed. Since caffeine stays in your system for hours, Drinking coffee late in the day could disrupt your sleep, especially if you're lying awake at night. For those who are pregnant or nursing, it's usually recommended to keep caffeine intake low, as high amounts have been linked to certain risks. Let's also not forget that some people feel jittery or anxious from caffeine. And if that's you, it may be best to stick to a single cup or opt for decaf to keep those nerves steady. So while coffee has its perks, a little mindfulness about when and how much we consume can make a big difference. A quick, real-life story. I once knew someone who swore by coffee's benefits. Let's call him John. For years, John had 3 cups daily, which he felt energized him without any side effects. But when he pushed it to 5 cups a day during a busy work period, he noticed sleep issues and felt more anxious. After adjusting back to 3 cups, he found his energy improved without the jitteriness. So even though coffee has its perks, a balanced approach made all the difference for him. Remember, it's about moderation and tuning in to your body's signals. So enjoy your coffee. Share this video with other coffee lovers on WhatsApp and let me know. How do you enjoy your coffee each day? Practical takeaway. How much should you drink? All right, here's the practical takeaway. If you enjoy coffee or tea, consider keeping it to 3 cups of coffee or 5 cups of tea per day. This moderate intake appears to offer significant health benefits without the downsides that come from overdoing it. Also, if you're someone who drinks other caffeinated beverages, try to keep your total caffeine intake between 200 and 300 milligrams per day. Remember, it's about consistency and moderation, not excess. The study followed these participants for 12 years, so if you're just starting now, you're still on time to enjoy the benefits in the years to come. So is coffee really good or bad for you? To sum it up, my friend, this extensive study suggests that coffee can be beneficial when enjoyed responsibly. 3 cups a day might actually help protect you against diabetes, heart disease, and stroke. But like any good thing, moderation is key. More isn't necessarily better. Thanks for joining me on this journey into the science of coffee. If you found this useful, share it with friends who love coffee just as much as you do. Send it to them on WhatsApp or wherever you chat. And let me know in the comments, how many cups do you enjoy a day?